The transfer window is getting closer and closer, and for us, we could be in for a busy one as Liverpool are in ascendancy and we'll be looking to bolster. In today's video, we'll discuss all the latest Liverpool news from the last 24 hours that includes some big Liverpool transfer news. There is so much to cover in today's video. And hello everybody, welcome back to the channel guys, I hope you're all well. Before we do get into today's video, as always, please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Liverpool content. Despite Liverpool's intention to recall Fabio Carvalho from a disappointing loan in January, RB Leipzig's sporting director has dismissed reports as power games. We understand that Liverpool have begun talks with Leipzig over the early termination of Carvalho's deal. The Portuguese has only featured 13 times so far this season, starting 3 times, with his third start coming in the Champions League dead rubber against Young Boys the day the news of the recall emerged. But while it seems realistic that Carvalho, who's gone unused 10 times already, averages 26.7 minutes per appearance, will return, Leipzig seem to be holding firm. There are typical power games. Sporting director Ruven Schreuder was quoted in the German press this week. Fabio has a contract until summer 2024, we're absolutely happy with him. We want the kid to scratch and bite, he will get his playing time. This comes ahead of expected move to New York Red Bulls for long-serving Leipzig attacking midfielder Emil Forsberg in January. Forsberg, who joined Leipzig at the start of 2015, has featured in all but 3 games for the German side this season, starting 11 of his 20 outings. Like Carvalho though, the Swede is not considered a first-choice starter for Marco Rose, with it Xavi Simons and Christopher Baumgartner the go-to options along with the injured Dani Olmo. While more opportunities could spring up if Forsberg leaves as expected, the likelihood is that Carvalho would still not receive the game time suggested when Liverpool agreed the deal with Leipzig. Leipzig were even reported to be in pursuit of Spanish winger Brian Zaragoza prior to his decision to join Bayern Munich from Granada. That would indicate that there are no concrete plans to promote Carvalho, despite both Schreuder and Rose insisting that he will get his chance if he earns it. Per The Athletic's Greg Evans, the 21-year-old is unlikely to rejoin Jurgen Klopp's first-team squad if he is recalled next month, with another loan move expected. There are said to be a number of clubs already showing interest, with Liverpool having initially been keen to send Carvalho to another side in the Premier League. Burnley and West Ham were both credited with interest during the summer transfer window, but it remains to be seen whether a deal with either could be struck in January. Just a quick one guys, we have released our brand new Liverpool Christmas merch drop. We have got the You'll Never Walk Alone, You Filthy Animal tees, along with the You'll Never Walk Alone Christmas tree tee. Do browse the collection by going down into the link in the description, or going to copeyeclothing.com. Anyway, let's get into today's video. Liverpool have reportedly sent scouts to watch BK Hacken wonder kid Mamadou Sonko in the Europa League, with the Reds said to have serious interest in the youngster. Sonko is an 18-year-old left winger who is currently plying his trade in the Allsvenskan side, Hacken, and the Swedish teenager has caught the eyes after a flurry of fine performances. The attacker has played 43 times already for Hacken since breaking into the first team, producing 13 goals and 8 assists in all competitions. One of those strikes coming in this year's Europa League group stage. Hacken endured a torrid European campaign and were the only side not to pick up a single point in the Europa League group stage, scoring just 3 and conceding 17 on the continent. However, Sonko has stood out, featuring heavily for Hacken on the big stage. According to many reputable Swedish outlets, Liverpool sent scouts to watch Hacken's 2-1 defeat to Karabag in Azerbaijan, a game in which Sonko featured for 82 minutes and had previously planned to scout the winger during one of the Scandinavian club's training sessions earlier this season. This news builds on information from Tutusvasken that claimed Sonko was currently choosing between a move to Liverpool and a big German club later revealed to be RB Leipzig. However, they did add that Barcelona are also in the hunt for the 18-year-old signature, with all aforementioned suitors having serious interest in a potential transfer. While it's reportedly unclear whether or not Sonko will make a move to a big European club in January, it's claimed that a final transfer fee for the forward will eclipse the £4.8 million Hacken received from Sheffield United for Benny Traore. Sonko was recently called up for training sessions with the Sweden national team and has shown plenty of promise for a player at such a young tender age. Liverpool have already booked their spot in the Europa League last 16 before their 2-1 defeat to Union Saint-Gilloise, but will now be a long wait for the next game. Jurgen Klopp named the club's youngest ever side for a European tie on Thursday night, and technically the third youngest ever, which explains the result. A disjointed performance led to a 2-1 loss, though Liverpool still had chances to equalise late on and came away from Belgium with positive spirits. They knew already before their trip to Lotto Park that they were in the hat for the last 16, having guaranteed their places as Group E winners in the previous tie. So when is the last 16 and who will be in it? The draw for the Europa League last 16 will take place on February 23rd at 11 AM GMT, with a ceremony held at UEFA's headquarters in Nyon. Who will be in it? There are only 8 of the 16 teams already qualified, those being the winners of the Europa League groups. Liverpool are joined in the hat by West Ham, Brighton, Rangers, Atalanta, Villarreal, Slavia Prague and Bayer Leverkusen. But they cannot play any of those teams instead of being drawn against 8 teams determined via the knockout playoffs. The knockout playoffs will see 8 sides to finish second in the Europa League groups that play 8 who finish third in their Champions League groups. SC Freiburg, Marseille, Sparta Prague, Sporting Lisbon, Toulouse, Rennes, AS Roma and Carvalho will be unseeded for those ties on February 15th and February 22nd. Galatasaray, Lens, Braga, Benfica, Feyenoord, AC Milan, Young Boys and Shakhtar Donetsk will be seeded. When will Liverpool play their next fixtures? With the knockout playoffs taking place in February, Liverpool have almost 3-month wait until they play again in the Europa League. The last 16 will be held over 2 legs on March 7th and March 14th, with the Reds playing at home in the second leg. After that, the quarter-finals will be on April 11th and 18th, the semi-finals on May 2nd and May 9th, then the final in Dublin on May 22nd. Jurgen Klopp has warned Liverpool's Premier League rivals that there is plenty more to come from his squad after a strong start to the season. But the German is keen for his players to keep working in order to find the stability that they have occasionally lacked so far this term. The Reds head into the crucial festive period sitting top of the Premier League with a Carabao Cup quarter-final to look forward to and their place in the Europa League last 16 secured. However, when asked if his team have been at their best yet, Klopp insisted they have only reached those heights sporadically. He replied, in moments, definitely. What is the real capability is that you can do in that moment or what you can do after working together 2-3 years. I think we can do in the moment, we saw in moments, but we also saw problems that we have. When you have a new group together, and it is a new group, it's always clear that it needs time to find some stability. That's what we lacked in moments, that's the truth. But in the end, so far it worked out somehow, and we have to make sure we keep improving even in the most difficult moments. This group, we never had a December together, and the December in English football is the toughest month ever. That's why we have to show how far we are along with that. I know it's early December and you're at top of the table and people start thinking of different things, but we obviously don't. I'm too long in this business that we would mean anything to me. It's better than being 18th or 20th, but it's still just a position for the moment. We have to keep working extremely hard, and that is so difficult when you don't have a real time for recovery, but you have to do it anyway. Liverpool's promising position owes much to a number of late game-changing goals in games where they haven't performed convincingly. And according to Klopp, that strong mentality was forged during a testing start to the season that saw his team receive 4 red cards across the opening 9 games. He continued, what I knew at the beginning was that we were a really good football team. A few boys in and the boys that were here all knew how good they can be. That's obvious from pretty early, but what's that? Tell me one Premier League squad that is not good. Especially if you fight for the top 4, they are all outstanding, so that's what you have to be. These experiences, we said it when it happened early in the season, we had a good pre-season, a long pre-season, but didn't train once 10v11 and had to play it pretty much for the first 5 games all the time, and we did that really well. That brings the group together, that helps the process definitely if you get through it. If you don't get through it, it's the opposite actually, but we got through it and that was extremely helpful. It's now a while ago, but we know each other much better and the steps that we make I like. Will they always be big enough? I don't know yet, we have to see. But so far I can see the development and that's why I need to understand where it could end up. Liverpool fans, what are your thoughts on Madomo Sonko and would you take him at the club? Yes or no? Let me know down there in the comment section below. That brings us to the end of today's video. As always, please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Liverpool content. Remember, we have dropped our Liverpool Christmas merch, so do browse the collection by going down into the link in the description or going to copyclothing.com. Thank you, and I'll see you all next time. Take care. Peace.